This video is introducing the PICO technique, which is used in medicine to create answerable research questions. You may use PICO to create your own research question or to dissect existing research questions into its component parts. PICO is an acronym for population or problem, intervention, comparison, and outcome. The abstract is a good place to spot each of the PICO elements used in a study. P is for the population. Who are the people this question's about? And problem. What is the problem or issue being looked at? In this study, the problem is a reconviction of drink driving offenders, specifically whether the intervention helps reduce this problem. The population, adult male drink driving offenders who are serving community sentences. I is for intervention. Are researchers proposing to do or change something? Or are they looking at the effects of something already happening? In this study, intervention is the Drink Impaired Drivers Program. Next up is C for comparison. These would be the people who did not receive the intervention. Perhaps they didn't get anything, or they got something different from those who did receive the intervention. In this study, the comparison is actually three separate groups: those who completed the program, those who only partially completed the program, and those not allocated to the program at all. Finally, O is for outcomes. What are the intended outcomes of the intervention? These will be measurable and help inform the main findings. In this study, the intended outcome is to reduce reconviction as measured by 1-year drink drive reconviction rates. We've just used PICO to dissect the components of an existing research question. PICO is part of a larger process of assessing the quality of research, and we've developed a video with more detail about this. Next, we're going to use PICO to develop a research question. Okay, so say you have the problem of domestic burglaries, and you want to find out whether you should install domestic burglar alarms or not. Your main question might be, do domestic burglar alarms deter thieves? Or you may be interested in the question, do domestic burglar alarms make people feel safer? Next, you want to consider your population of interest. For instance, are you interested in whether burglar alarms deter thieves in densely populated or sparsely populated areas? Are you interested in high-income areas or low-income areas? The sample you choose should come from your population of interest. Let's look at the intervention. You could intervene by supplying burglar alarms to households, or you could look at the effect of households that already have burglar alarms. Next up, let's consider the comparison. Let's suppose that the researcher wanted to intervene. If they're planning to give burglar alarms to some residents, the comparison group would be those who were not given burglar alarms. To be able to randomly assign households to either the alarm group or the non-alarm group, the sample would need a community of households that did not already have burglar alarms. So potentially, a new build development would be a good sample for this particular study. Finally, the intended outcomes. You want your intended outcomes to match your problem. So if you were interested in whether burglar alarms deter thieves, then you're going to want to look at reported crime statistics. If you're interested in whether burglar alarms make the residents feel safer, then you could interview residents. PICO is an effective technique for taking a complex research question and breaking it down into its component parts, from which we can ensure that the methods used are the best ones to answer the questions we're asking.